Now, Newsman Dennis Daly presents his unique look at current events in another of his wide-ranging daily video blogs.
Dennis goes back into the archives and looks at past daily news updates as he prepares to celebrate his 3,000th upload later this week.
Thanks, Rich, and hi again, everybody. This week, as we work up to our 3,000th upload on YouTube, we're looking back at some of those wonderful moments, the great fun you and I had, particularly when we met famous people. And one of the nicest guys we ever met on the road was this guy, David Newell. David Newell, for decades, was Mr. McFeely, Fred Rogers' assistant, not only in the neighborhood of Make-Believe and at Fred Rogers' house, but he was Fred Rogers' right-hand man during the production all those years. And he told us how he loved to go to PBS open houses.
And I go to those and I meet and greet, and it's wonderful. There are three generations in front of me who've watched the program in some way. The grandmother, the mother, and the daughter or son. And here, all these generations have a different story about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and what it meant to them. And sometimes the mother will tear up because it was such a big part of her growing up. And that makes me feel so good because you feel you're doing the program for four walls. When you're in the studio, you don't have an audience, and you don't get the feedback as you do in a live show.
Then we spent a delightful afternoon with June Foray, Rocky the Flying Squirrel, and thousands of other voices. She had won her first Emmy Award in her mid-90s.
It weighs about 15 pounds at least. If it weren't for Mark Evanier, who carried it for me, I never could have made it to the podium or off the podium. I play Mrs. Cauldron, a witch, on the Garfield show. Here I've been working at MGM, at Warner's, every place, never got even a nomination. And so he nominated me. I never expected to win, ever. Or even be nominated. They were saying, how many has she had? Or hasn't she had one before? It's about time.
And in one of my favorite episodes, we went inside a movie, the Academy Award-winning short, The Music Box, from the 1930s, with Laurel and Hardy pushing a piano up an interminable set of steps. We visited the steps. Of course, Laurel and Hardy aren't there anymore. But it was almost a religious experience. I have walked up and down these steps several times, and I can tell you that it's quite a trek to do it. I forget just how many steps there are, but at one time there were a lot of steps like these in the Los Angeles area. In many ways, this is a very special place. It's where Laurel and Hardy toiled for days and ate their lunch, and also won an Academy Award. It is marked with a sign at the top and the bottom and a vandalized historical monument. Well, marker, if you will. But other than that, it's lost in a neighborhood and crowded on the sides with vines and apartment buildings. But it remains a very special place for those of us who love the movies. Another look into the archives as we head toward Upload 3000. I'm Dennis Daly with your Daily News Update.